The NBA season has officially started and the opening games were nothing short of amazing. The reigning champs faced the Lakers while Phoenix Suns played against the Warriors. Both matchups were delightful to watch and gave us plenty of indicators why this season will be absolutely wild in every sense of the word. Welcome back to Hoop Vision, and let's dive straight into basketball. Phoenix beat Golden State 108-104, while Denver defeated the Lakers 119-107. Arizona is known for being a hot state, but things got even more heated when Devin Booker started catching fire. 32 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds on 61.9% shooting was just enough to seal the game and send a strong message throughout the West. The biggest takeaways from this game were Booker's shot selection and playmaking. No move of his seemed forced, but as he was able to run the offense smoothly without getting stopped by the Warriors. Clutch plays in which he read the defense and found open teammates passing while in midair were a sign of him maturing as a player, and the first of them was probably the deciding point of the game as the Suns went up by 4 and the Warriors were forced to chase the score with less than 1 minute left. What makes this clutch performance even better was that he showed perfect decision making for 3 straight possessions, preventing Golden State to come back despite their late run. On top of that, the chemistry is obvious between him and KD, which was one of the questions asked during the TV talks regarding their title pursuit. If you also consider the fact Bradley Beal wasn't playing, this Suns team really looks scary. For example, Eric Gordon made 2 out of 9 3-pointers in 30 minutes of playing time, and Grayson Allen made none out of 5 attempts. They'll probably take some time to adjust their shooting rhythm, and they won't have to play so many minutes when Beal comes back, which will also impact the fatigue factor. KD had a slightly off night with 18 points, but his 50% from beyond the arc are very promising, and there's no doubt the trio will look deadly when all of them are healthy and locked in. The most pleasant surprise was Jusuf Nurkic, who added 14 points and 14 rebounds, and scored a final bucket for the Suns with a beautiful pick-and-roll slide and a pass from Booker. The biggest debate surrounding him was if he could replace Ayton, but from what we've seen in this game, the Bosnian big man is more than capable of contributing to the team. Ayton's lack of experience and decision-making at times would probably be a slowdown factor for the offensive armada Suns now have, so this trade could turn out to be a brilliant move simply because of how different Nurkic's role and playing style are. He's more than willing to be the enforcer and earns his buckets through waiting for the right pass and putback opportunities, which is what every coach wants in his center. At the end of the day, the Suns have opened the season with an exclamation point, and they have a lot of positives to expect this season. However, we cannot overlook the fact Warriors didn't perform at their best, considering Klay's 6 of 18 from the floor and 3 of 11 for 3, and Curry's 8 of 20 and 4 of 14 from downtown. This was one of their worst shooting nights, as they both went under 30% beyond the arc. Add to that, Steph was the only player on the roster with 20 plus points, and it's obvious why Golden State wasn't able to prevail. It'll be interesting to see how both teams evolve and adjust throughout the season, since they have a variety of offensive options, but where they both are lacking is defense. You just cannot play bucket for bucket against the Nuggets, for example, because they play with 2 point guards, one of them being 7 foot tall. Having any holes will be exploited mercilessly either by kick-out passes or easy floaters in the paint. The conclusion we can take from Phoenix and Golden State is they will bring fireworks on the offensive end this year, which makes them one of the most exciting teams to watch. If they manage to improve on the other side of the court, that's what is most likely to bring them closer to being true contenders for claiming the West and the NBA championship. Speaking of the West, the second game of the opening night was the duel between the conference finalists. The Nuggets played against the Lakers in what seemed to be the replica of last year's playoffs. Denver was in no danger whatsoever throughout the entire game, as Murray and Joker were able to run the offense to perfection by setting the high screen at the beginning of almost every possession. Once Jokic makes the roll, it's Christmas for Denver. Depending on the circumstance, he can choose between taking a jumper from the free throw line, drive for a layup, or an easy floater, or in case Reeves or Russell help from the sides, kick out to an open teammate. This was their recipe for scoring all night long, since the Lakers didn't defend the pick and roll with switching, which would have led to even worse mismatches. Anthony Davis was forced to battle through infinite number of screens, which resulted in Joker always being 1 to 2 seconds ahead with enough space to run the offense at will. The issue with the Lakers isn't that they're a bad team, but they just don't have enough to pose a serious threat to the Nuggets. For comparison, Davis scored 0 points in the second half, while Jokic had 10 points and 9 assists in the third and fourth quarter. Their biggest insufficiency is not being able to stop the Joker with one-on-one defense, forcing them to double him. But anytime he's caught in a situation like that, he just makes the perfect decision and finds the teammate who's just waiting for such a gift. Not so long ago, LeBron said he didn't know the answer to the question of how to guard Jokic. If there is a way, maybe it's to let him play his game and earn his points one-on-one without letting him facilitate his teammates. The biggest problem isn't his 30 points, but the assists he dishes out. If you let him score 30 but prevent him from making others better, that's when you'll see the impact on the score. In case someone from the NBA sees this and agrees with it, we'd be more than happy to get hired. All jokes aside, the Lakers played a very entertaining game, but Denver is just on another level. We've mentioned in one of our previous videos that Suns will be a threat for dethroning them this year, but that's still an open challenge that will require many things to click, followed by plenty of adjustments. To make the night even sweeter, the Joker and the rest of his teammates received their first NBA championship rings, which made Nikola very emotional. It was very nice to see him shake off his chill and whatever look on his face, and actually show how much that achievement meant to him. Speaking of the opening night, both Denver and Phoenix showed us they will make this season spectacular in terms of offensive highlights, which is good for the league, the fans, the business aspect of the NBA, and the Western Conference after all. The whole West will be battling for those lower seed playoff spots for their chance to make probably the biggest potential upsets in the league's history. Let's just hope that the Nuggets and the Suns don't meet each other before the conference finals, since that would be a heaven matchup for every basketball fan out there. Their regular season games will give us plenty of insights of what is to be expected in the playoffs, but whoever comes out as a winner of their rivalry will give lots of trouble to the Eastern contender. Although it's early to predict who will be in the finals, it's safe to say that by what we've seen in the opening night, the Western Conference has 4 teams that are absolutely fire when it comes to offense, and the season will be packed with action and tenacity. Hopefully, no rosters suffer season-altering injuries, and we'll get to see them going at each other at full strength. That's it for today, dear friends. If you have some interesting thoughts on these games, make sure to share them in the comments below. Since the NBA season has officially started, there will be plenty of new takes, news, and NBA stories, so make sure not to miss them by hitting the subscribe button. Until next time.